Oh, it was a Rodeo-Chediski Fire, 2001, Apache-Sitgreaves National Forest in Arizona. I was working I was a lead saw at the time also. We were attempting to fire out a road, and we knew that the fire had a lot of force and it was coming for us. Oh, not coming for us, take that back. It was moving towards us. But yeah, so we attempted to fire out the road. We had good safety zones on each side of the road, or meadows, excuse me. And so we tried lighting the road off. We had everybody established to hold, and the soup's truck was out ahead. He had the firers just staying out in front of them. We thought we had plenty of time, and before we knew it, the fire was moving a lot faster. And if I can describe the sound, and because it was within my first 5 years, it was like one that just stays in memory. But if I can describe the sound, it'd be like standing 5 feet away from maybe a freight train as it's going by, at full speed. Or I've had a jet fly over, an F-16 just fly over low, and while you're standing there, and it just shakes everything, and it's just, you hear this rumble and a roar. You feel the intensity, your hair starts to tingle and stand up. That was the feeling. So I remember looking back and just seeing ember wash. The winds were blowing across the road, and from 1 minute to the next, the winds were more of a switch where the fire intensity was actually drawn more air into itself. It was calling for more oxygen. So smoke was laying over the road, but then started drafting back into itself. So I do remember that. I remember looking back and seeing us all spread out as the guys were still firing out ahead of us, and looking back and saying to myself, like, I think it's time for us to pull out, RTO. And as I turned back and looked, my squad leader looked back at me at the same moment, and I just remember we pointed at each other and we were like in the same agreements, and we just called for RTO, which is a reverse tool order for everyone to turn back and head back to our safety zone. And we establish our safety zones are within a good distance. We time them so that we can make it in a feasible time if we had to get out if things went gunny sack. So, or worst case scenario. So that definitely mitigated beforehand. It made us feel safe. But at the same time, this fire was, I believe they said it was a half a mile head of fire, and it was ripping through ponderosa pine, and I just remember seeing embers starting flying across, and we're sitting there, and we're literally starting to run out of there. And it was probably maybe 50 yards at the most that we had to get back, but it just made that 50 yards feel like 500 yards because it got so hot, embers flying. We get back to the safety zone, and everything's fine, but we're sitting there. It was mid-afternoon, about 3 o'clock, but just from the size of the flames, 200-foot flames coming off of it, and the wall of fire that was coming towards the road, the whole sky turned dark, and it just felt like we were at night. And we just watched this fire run past, the road, watch it move up and go over a ridge beyond us and just keep going. And it was just like, well, we gave it a shot, fellas. We'll try again later. But yeah, it's one of the memories that sticks in my head there as far as trying to fire a road and just hearing that, with the old saying, the freight train coming.